Tonight, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Chicago Bears taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming 10-71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears. Mitchell Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the number 2 pick in 2017.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 6 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the number 1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Now Trubisky on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. This is Johnson, he's got it. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. Johnson jostles free. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 14 yards and a Chicago first down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. K'Lavon Chaisson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he'll lose lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time. Weak thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. That's out to the left flat and complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Touchdown.
Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken a 1st quarter lead.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week. Yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Taken in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, we should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Trubisky. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
A loss of 12.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading them out. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're...
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 48 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Jones. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5.
Jones.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Touchdown.
Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run.
Bradley Pinion, the kickoff for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. brings up...
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Bears, nothing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
The wide receiver, the ball carrier.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 38, Trubisky. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now it's Trubisky. And the pressure gets to him again.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked. A big loss on the
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken inside his own 40. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
The 1st down.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. Not much there, only a yard.
And that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he will have the Bears 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
A Chicago 1st down. The former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky, man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 7 yards there and a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 34. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
K'Lavon Chaisson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Now Trubisky. And he's going to go down again.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
He sets up the screen to Jones. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT.
And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs.
Bears nothing. Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
1-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. He'll come out throwing here on first down. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing. Right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Trubisky to throw. That's caught by Montgomery. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Jones. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll run it with Jones. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Back at the 14.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That is caught at the 7-yard line.
And the Bucs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
Now Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Jones, the ball.
Ronald Jones, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Montgomery.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter. Good set. Second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
2nd and 4. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to float this over the middle deep. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put
points on the board, they've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Trubisky will throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, this game was just Decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
No, check that. We're on line 52 right here.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Throw left side, complete. It's Johnson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It was Nick Nelson that time who got a hand in to break that one up. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The Bears on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Trubisky to throw again. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's 4th down.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Bears.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Trubisky sacked. A big loss on the play.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They're firing a deep ball for Komet, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Back now comes Tampa Bay. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
To number 8.
A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
To try again after the sack. Trubisky looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Johnson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run the counter. Humphrey. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And this offense is running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
For Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing. Streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
Trubisky's pass complete. Fumble on the play.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth-quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
Scott, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Blankenship out for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run.
For Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Taken in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt the return.
25-yard line.
The Buccaneers defense, we watch them get set to go. Recovered the fumble, up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are ready to go.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Mark 55. Mark 55.
Now it's Trubisky. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked there by Nick Nelson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught. On the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
58's the money. 58's the money. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Number 25.
It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
That's out to the left flat and complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
That's out to the left and complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
58, boys, 58, 58, it's Mike. Hey, tight.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down.
Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line.
Scott's pass.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
The 2nd down pass intercepted. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
10 at the 20-yard line.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. One last shot for Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bucs, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.